Hey everyone, so we're back with Silent Hill F now today, and so I'm probably only going to play it for about an hour today because it's kind of coming up to dinner time and I want to order some food. There shouldn't be anything that pulls me away, though I do have a parcel coming today, which is a nice little thing for the channel and for R&D. But I thought I would try and get a little bit further into this. I think we've made some decent observations regarding that first little prologue period. I think we were right on the button when it comes to the fact that Hinako feels sort of too small for the cage that she's been put in. And I also feel as well that we were pretty bang on with the feeling of the fox mask, where he looks perhaps kinder than he is. And I think that our parallels to Fruits Basket, which was published in a shoujo magazine and is sort of targeted as a shoujo, so adult female sort of demographic, they will become more apparent and clear as we go through, even though, in my opinion, even though it is targeted, Fruits Basket that is targeted at women, I don't think it's really feminine in any way that distracts, me reading it as a man. I think it's an absolutely brilliant series. As always, you have to sort of take into account that where the characters are in their lives, being teenagers, right, just about to leave school. And I think that a lot of Japanese manga, video games, whatever, deal with that period because it's the only point in time where there's some sort of freedom, because as soon as you get locked into a job, that's generally a life thing. So there we have. I just want to marvel at and this is where overall art direction trumps everything, because when you look at this town and even the floral anomalies, like, it just comes together so well. And what I love about survival horror games is the whole game is almost like one puzzle. You get to know these environments, you get to know these areas, you get to know where to go, where to not go, where you'll get penned in, whatever, right? So the art direction and the set design, the environmental design, is actually pivotal to the gameplay mechanics. And again, I'm just looking here because even though I've said it in all of these, and I'll keep saying it, but these could be static camera angles. This could be a fixed frame. They could have made this the same way they made Silent Hill, and it wouldn't suffer for it. If they had like a director's cut fixed camera angle version, it wouldn't suffer for it. But nor does it suffer for the camera, for the free camera. And this is where, asset fidelity is one thing. You want assets to look as good as you can. But if we're budgeting, I would say that the effects, look at that fog, look at the reflections in the, is it blood, is it water, is it a bit of both? Look at the shadows. I think it's better to budget for that, definitely. Yeah, we had a little hitch there. But my PC didn't ramp up. But you have to remember as well, this is, everything maxed out. And this is 100% render. And I'm OBS streaming it, which I know some games don't like being recorded. But it's strange how some days my PC will just like power through, and then like today we encounter a hitch, so who knows. But let's keep walking on. As I said before, you know, first of all, we're getting funneled down. It's a very clear path that we need to go down. You know, if you have a little look here, this is the one that we ran down like Crash Bandicoot at the beginning, but it's very clear that, you know, this is the main road, this is where we go. They've got the lanterns again for that sort of, you know, follow the light, which you don't have to be told to follow the light. Like, honestly, if you were just playing this game, you wouldn't even pick up that that was a directional cue. But it beats paint. And when you play, if you're playing this, like if we imagine this wasn't 2 days later and we just got out of the spirit realm and we want to find out, oh, is Shu real, is Shu not real, why is he disappearing into the light? We're rushing down here like this, right? We're not stopping by to take in the scenery. And I think that's where the game design really sort of comes into its own. And here we have a little bit more foliage. Okay, so this is just teaching us how to do focus attacks, which do come in handy. We do have a slight breeze, and that's also followed by the direction of the fog. Again, hitching. Let me just look at my settings, because sometimes, you know what games are like, sometimes they revert. So yeah, we're in borderless. Frame rate, no limit. I could limit it to 60, but what's the point? Preset, custom, 100%, very high, very high, very high. Lumen epic, lumen epic, lumen epic, yeah. Anti-alias and DLSS. Quality. But it also says up here that we're drawing it 100%. So what's going on? And like I said, like I keep mentioning over and over and over and over to everyone on Reddit who argues about this, DLSS is baked in. This isn't a menu setting anymore. Like the games use this as part of how they work now, and I don't think a lot of people will admit that, and I don't think that the user base sort of understands that. Okay, nothing's changed, but let's hope the hitching stops. What else can we do? And then obviously it's drawing us towards that alleyway, because we've got the threat ahead. We've got the light there. It's quite a natural path that a player would assume. And they've done a great job at that, even though they're quite obtuse with the storyline, and the themes are kind of on the nose a little bit too much, I think. Like the mannequin women and the man with, you know, no face, just a mouth. Oh, right, so there we are. Let me just take this guy out, so we can basically charge attack it. That was easy enough. And they don't come back, so they're not like the spirit realm. They don't come back. Then what we got here, someone's drying some mushrooms. And like I said before, you know, there's a lot of material here referencing sort of like 45, but we know this game is sort of 60s. Hinako is a boomer. Love it or hate it. But the majority of Japanese media is around two things, sort of post-war PTSD as an entire culture, and also the rapid modernization that followed. Look at how good this looks. Okay, let's keep going. It's almost enticing. Like, you almost want to look what's in this little, you know, what are they even called? Blanking. You know, the little garden patches. Blanking on what they're called. Let's just have a little look around. So we've got another fox shrine here. Then this would be a little cool place to chill out, wouldn't it? Someone does, clearly. They've got the teapot there. And then again, we're sort of getting herded by the light, and we've got these old posters. I love old posters like this. And this is supposed to be like in-game version of Asahi beer. Or Tori beer. Super dry. Can I say this? I'm in Thailand. I can't advertise alcohol here. It's not advertisement. It's just a correlation that we're seeing. You know, it's cultural. Asahi is massive in Japan. And we can hear the sound. I can hear the sound coming off. This is something that I need to invest in, is another set of headphones, because mine have actually developed a massive problem. So I got some Bowers & Wilkins P7s, the carbon fiber ones, but the battery swole up in them. So I'm looking for a replacement battery. And there's enough replacement batteries around, but what there isn't, oh, she had me. What there isn't is ones with the thermal sensor wire. And I know that I could sort of like desolder that wire off of, but it still wouldn't give a readout, so I don't even know if it would work that way. But there's literally like, you know, a $500 set of carbon fiber made in England, apparently, headphones that have been rendered redundant by like a $2, maybe a 20-cent manufacturing cost lithium ion battery. And this is why I'm sort of thinking about, if I do get a set of headphones, I'm going to go wired, maybe like the Beyerdynamic 770 Pro X's or something like that. But I'm trying to balance out what I'm spending, because I want software, I want hardware, there's a lot of stuff I want. So this restores stamina. Fully restores stamina. Okay, so that is definitely worth keeping over the one that just greatly restores stamina. Although stamina is one of those things where you're better off learning to manage it than oh, brilliant, inventory capacity up, even if just by 1. And then we've got the DIY extensions, just to get a little extra room out of their house, you know. And this is stuff that went well into the 90s in Thailand, and still to this day happens in Thailand. Oh, my stomach's growling. I really am hungry. I haven't had a coffee yet either today, so I'm thinking about just ordering a Starbucks. For someone who professes to hate corporations, I sure rely on them a lot, don't we all? It's not that I hate them, I expect better. I think that's the most adult way to look at it. I just expect better from them. Okay, I'm really struggling with these mannequins. And like I said, the controller, like the keyframes the animation keyframes kind of make it irrelevant, because there's such a wind up to both Hinako and these things. I mean, the dodge is essentially... Okay, I need to use a toolkit. I'll be honest, I don't rate streamers that just sort of play and talk very highly in terms of life skills. I'm sorry guys, but you know, it's very difficult. And to entertain, to know your audience and entertain, I'll eat my words on that. It's not easy, And I think that, you know, what I'm doing is one step above, because I'm actually trying to dissect the game and figure out what the hell is going on and how they... I won't say how they make it, because I'm not a programmer. I never confessed to be a programmer. But that doesn't matter, because, you know, design is not code. You could sit in a meeting, you could, like, okay, the easiest way to sort of debunk this theory that goes around the indie solo game dev circles, that, you know, ideas are meaningless if you can't execute them, is Hideo Kojima, master of the craft, sensei to us all, developed his masterpiece with Lego blocks. He created each level with Lego blocks. Fin. End. Okay, so what's in this construction site? If I remember rightly, there is something in this construction site. Okay, well, at the very least, they've got a new steel pipe. Great. Oh, I thought that was a monster. And what do we have here? Kudzuti. Oh, I hope that wasn't picked up on camera. My stomach is growling. So this is going to break any moment now, but... Oh, I have 3, okay. I don't mind if this one breaks. That's fine. And here we have breeze block. Some lumber. There's just something honest about Japan that I love. Same with Thailand, except Thailand's getting a little bit skewed this past sort of post-pandemic. I would say, you know, even that's coming up 10 years, right? Decade almost. Slightly restores health. So you have to sort of pop these one after the other, right? If I remember rightly. Let me see how I can look at my equipment items. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just ditch these red capsules, because we're not doing a red capsule run. So what do I want? I want my health really equipped here. I want my health here. And then Higashi, Kudzuti. What does Kudzuti do? Slowly restores health and max sanity. But they take up 1 each. But there is a mini boss fight coming soon. I remember that. So I may keep that. And this is why survival horror games are so replayable, because you can sort of like I said, the whole game is one big puzzle. I wish I could read this signage. I really need to start learning Japanese. So if I hit this, my weapon will break. But if I'm lucky, I can hit it with a... Oh, so I don't have any sanity left at all. Does that come back? I don't know. Let me keep looking around the town first. I need to dedicate more time. Like, I'm putting a lot of time into YouTube because that's just what needs to be done to figure out what needs to be done. You know, if I'm doing this once a week, it'll take me a year to figure out where I need to be. But by doing this pretty much every day for the first month, I think I've missed 2 days. Let me just read this a minute. Okay, so they're just talking about superstitions versus modern medicine, which I guess would have been something of note at the time. What's this? Divine water. I forget what does what now. Equipment, items, divine water, max sanity. But that's okay because that's only taken up one slot. But it would save my tool, my pipe, right? If I went with that. But I do have 3 pipes, so it's not like it's a huge problem right now. Okay, so what's going on down here? Is this where I need to be? Or is up there where I need to be? So... this was where I was chased to, right? Just keep looking around a minute. So it's not souls, like we can't just, you know, sort of loop back around and open that up. Doesn't look great though. Okay, that tree doesn't look great, but this wood paneling does. And this is where we were chased. This is what I mean, like all of this is the same. It's all in engine, but it feels so much different purely because of the lighting, right? So we can't go through where we were. I'm guessing we can't go through here either. There is something here. A dried carcass. So let's use something. Equipment. Well, the obvious one would be the toolkit, wouldn't it? But I really don't want to waste the toolkit. Let's use this kudzu tea because it's sort of taking up too much room. Okay, great. Now we can pick that dried carcass up. Red capsule, I haven't got room for it anyway. We're not going to bother picking them up because we're not going to bother using them. Oh god. That's fine. We know it was going to break. That's not new. Okay. Dogleg mannequin's dead. So there's no real need to come back down here again. Got the offering. Let me just take a little look here. So can we get past this red capsule? No. It looks like we're sort of like glued to the road. And we start getting to the rice terraces now, which is great. But again, you know, each of these could be, this could be concept art. Certainly could be a fixed camera angle. Perfection. So let's enshrine some stuff. Fully restore stamina and prevent stamina corruption. Sanity again, and then this is sanity and stamina. So Ramune is the one that we want to offer to get some space. So we've got one which is just stamina. This is sanity that reduces stamina. This we found is good for the sort of out of. So I think I'll use that with the boss that I know is coming up. So we'll just enshrine two things for now. And then there's something here. No. Cool. Let's save our game. And then let's make our way over to that other side. And like I said, we start, look at that, that's cool as hell. What do we have here? Creepy scarecrow. Nothing inside it by the looks of it. Okay. Shouldn't have rushed out there, should I? So that's taken care of. And we can push forward. Look at that gash. And then what do we have here? We've got something here. Someone's garden by the looks of it. Another Higashi. So how many of those can we hold? I'm really starting to try and balance what I have here. So if we don't use the Higashis, I think we'll offer them up next. Is there anything around here? Another Emma. So I can upgrade an ability with one of those Emmas. So on Mori slot 1 is actually really good to have, but let's get our health up for now, is it? Or stamina. Stamina might be good. Let's do stamina. Because we're doing a no red pill run. I think stamina will be more worthwhile than health, because we can't really... I won't save it here just in case I made a bad decision on that, because we won't be able to really replenish our health the way that we can on a normal run. Perfect. So we now have a sickle, but let's use up the iron pipe first. So Shu is here. Okay, I didn't notice that the first time round. He pinches himself, but she never pinches herself, which is, I know it's childish, but it's a subtle little thing to show us maybe not everything is as we seem. And then this is sort of the next break where it opens out. I said I wasn't going to save just yet, but let's just have a little look around, canvass the area, and you've got your standard sort of roadblocks up, funneling you where they want you to go. And as we said earlier, we start getting into the farm area. So this is the way, right? I think that's quite clear. That's the way, but there's also something about this area that draws you. And this is very familiar for me. 5 minutes out of town and you've got this here in Thailand. So I got a feeling that I might end up being quite reliant on my weapons, my tools, my toolkit, sorry, and the sanity in this run. Just giving us a hint about the weapon, but I know we're okay. Chocolate. Slightly restores my max sanity. Okay, so the chocolate, that again is good for a boss battle. For a set time, not sure what that time is. Likely the immediate vicinity afterwards, right? Look at this, the fog is so thick now that we can barely see sort of 2 meters ahead. Just about make out a few outlines. Okay. What do we have here? First aid kit. Fully restores health. I got a feeling that's my inventory full now. What's this? Okay, so she wants to kill herself whilst pregnant. Is that her? But you have to remember as well, this is very female oriented in terms of what women went through at the time. But these men weren't working in offices, they were in mines, getting their lungs filled with God knows what, or in smelting plants. You know, they were dealing with materials that we now know are toxic and terrible. You know, and the likelihood were, you know, yeah, but and I'm not defending anyone's actions. But you have to remember, they're coming home tired, definitely in pain, probably not a clue why all this stuff is going wrong with them. You know, their brain's probably addled by lead. Now, none of this gets talked about. I'm literally holding a lead pipe. I don't think the world has ever been nice to the average man. Maybe the upper middle class man or the higher class man, but to the average working man, his life has never been any better than his, you know, his contemporary. Man, woman. It's class that divides us. Whether that's 45, 60, 2026, nothing's changed. And the only reason it works is because we accept it. Like, this goes back to sort of like game development and our game dev, where I've been looking at what people are doing, and they want to be told that they're doing a good job. Like, one guy was saying yesterday, like, oh, I want to be mentored or this or that. It's like, no one even knew what a video game was when they first came around. Sometimes you have to sort of stand on your own 2 feet. As long as we accept that a platform or a publisher is higher ranked than us, they will be higher ranked than us. You know, as long as we say that, you know, we are beholden to whatever it may be, DLSS 5, say, we're beholden to it if we say DLSS 5 is a problem, but it's not. You know? Like, it's simple. If this game had a DLSS 5 option, I would use my eyes and I would go, no, I don't want to play that. I want to play it as it was intended. You know, some people are even like that with remakes, and they won't even touch a remake because it's so different to the original. Class warfare. And I won't have it. I know what I want to do. I'm just figuring out how I'm going to do it. Okay, so I'm now back here. Okay, so what's this? I'm going to have to go and offer some stuff to that shrine, I think. You know, this is why I play games like this, because there's an underlying message, there's an underlying narrative, and oh my god. Not scared, just startled. Started to get a little bit of a hang on their movements now. Okay, good. Let's just have a look to see if I do have any room in here. Not really. I'm gonna have to go and ditch some stuff. Enshrine. Fully restores max sanity. Let's keep that. Slowly restores health and let's just use no. Let's get rid of that. That's a good offering price as well. Chocolate. Slightly restores and the higashis. Max stamina. Max sanity, max stamina. Slightly restores max sanity, but sanity will not be consumed. Oh, let's get rid of that. And the kudzu, and I'll eat that RA. Okay. And then let's just save the game here. I wonder if you can hear my controller. It's right behind the mic at the moment, so I hope not. This pod mic is very directional, which I do like about it. I'm still debating on what to do about my second screen. I want a Corsair Xenon Edge, I think, but everyone's just scalping the hell out of them at the moment. Like $200. I think they're 7,500 baht is the retail price on them. I'd pay that, but at the moment they want like 12,500, so almost double the cost. They're trying to scalp for them, and they're just not worth that in my opinion. Like, not when you can buy like an LG C5 OLED 27-inch for the same price. And I'm still debating what to do about my second system. I might just buy a C5 42-inch. I wanted to stick 1440p so that I know that that system could basically run everything. But the C5 does have, you know, that internal processor that can also help with upscaling. Okay, so this thing is definitely going to come back alive, and it doesn't have a face, so I'm guessing the mask in the other house was from this one. So does that mean when they have no mask, they are no issue? Then there's some photographs of them just working the fields. Got plenty of those myself. That's stuck as well. Ah, I remember now. This is like a story point. This location is a story point location. Lovely. Just what the doctor ordered. Is there any secret? Over this side. Yes, and there's a drawer key. It's for the drawer upstairs. Great. There's always a point to these things, right? Shall I leave it? It's just taking up room at this point. Kudzu tea, I'll take that, because even though it takes up a space, one, we know it's good, and two, we know that we can sort of chop it in for 100 points. I do know that we'll come back here, so the Ariare thing. Pick that up, yeah. So what's this? The doctor. They might use controlled substances in their so it's even hinted at here, right at the beginning. I forget the flower's name, right? The sandhill flower. Okay, so that thing's back. Let's open this room up. Claw marks. Brilliant. Increases max health. So this one definitely. And like I said, having all of the slots for these Omomoris actually help a ton. In fact, that cat might still be better for this playthrough. Let me just have a look. If I remember rightly, okay, that does raise it quite a bit. Let's just try this out. Autopsy report. Unexplicable cause of death. So they say he's been punished by the Inari, found full of maggots and grubs. Whatever it is got out. Great stuff. There they are. So at least we didn't have to wait to see where it was. Let's just have a little look at this room. So it's a tatami room with a desk. When people talk about analog, it wasn't a thing back then. Analog was everything. Any sort of digital was out of the norm. Is there a back door? No. So do I have room for that? Oh, equipment. Item. So I got 2 spaces. So I could pick it up if I wanted to. Yeah, sure, let's pick it up. Can't hurt. Can always eat it, right? If we need to. Lock is broken, it won't open. Just my dog. Okay, so I have to go out the same way we came in. I really want to go to what's the place called? The heritage site, where they've got all these buildings with the thatched roof like this. It must be because I'm hungry. I'm blanking on names today. And there's a thing again. Is that the same thing as before? I just couldn't get to it right. It was sort of like out of the way. Yeah, let's sort of get rid of this. Oh my god. Come on. You'll be grab enemy, grab enemy, health servitors. Okay, so can I stop being grabbed by enemies? Okay, I'm gonna have to wait for my sanity. My stamina, I mean. Okay, so that was a bit annoying that I got grabbed. But it gives us an opportunity to eat this ARA, I suppose. It had utility, which is the main thing. I hate picking up items and not using them. That's my pet peeve, right? My pet peeve is I absolutely hate picking up items and not using them. I like everything to have a use. Oh, great. So how do I... So when I get like grabbed, I can't do anything. Okay, so that's just part of it now. I get grabbed every now and again, okay. So I have to be careful because I don't know if I've got access to another weapon. I do have the toolkit, but I would rather use the toolkit to fix the sickle than the toolkit to fix the pipe. So what's in this little area? Legend of the monster. Okay, so this is the UFO ending. But we can't do the UFO ending on our first run. It has to be new game plus, right, to get that. But this is to do with the UFO ending. And this whole area, I think, if I remember rightly, is to do with the UFO ending. Let me just look at the map. Where do I need to be? Okay, so I need to be this way. This is definitely the way because it's got all the alien plants. Yokan, great. You know the Yokan's good stuff. You also know that that's just taking up a new thing, a new slot. Okay, so right there. I want to try and get over that other way because I want to go and walk up there. I don't know what the deal is. Are any of you like this as well, where if you know that that's the way you have to go in a game, you will actively try to go the other way? Or is it just me? I might be wrong. Maybe this is the way. Okay, so... yeah, let's eat that. Okay, so that won't even fill. So it's like a 20% there. That's good to know. Can I get into here? So... what's that? A new pipe. Great. Perfect. Feeling good now. I've got a new pipe. Another one wouldn't go miss. But I can fix the one I've got if I wanted to. And there we are. We have another shrine. And that's the path up the mountain that I personally want to go up. Because I'm 99% sure this is the way forward. Okay. I didn't have enough. Okay. And what do we have here? Toolkit, another toolkit, great. Oh, red capsule. Whoa, what's that noise?
Nani?
Nani indeed. That's the boss, I think. Equipment. More items. Red capsule, discard. I'm going to have to ditch something. Do I get to come back here? I don't know. Let's go up here just in case I don't. And we can make some decisions based on what we find, if we find anything. So this is the shrine. Wow, look at that. Okay, so they're trying to advertise their blessings. Space wolves. Oh, dice. So I could go through all this and read this. But I kind of just want to experience it I feel like stuff like that pulls you out of the game. Just want to experience it and make my own mind up. So we saw this right at the beginning of the game, right? This was one of the shots at the beginning, just after the title spread. Alright, it's a little bit useless. An antique comb, which definitely isn't useless. So, is there anything else here? Divine water. Fully restores max sanity. Okay, so let's use a divine water now. Pick that up. Let's use an RA. Even though there's only a little bit of health gone. And pick up the antique comb, which we'll go and offer right now. And I think that's it. And this is the girl who died, who's in the store. That's her family shrine. I need to start making better thumbnails. So perhaps this will be it. This will be the thumbnail for this video or something. Or this. Let me just have a look over here. Did I just brush past something? Yeah, brush past two things. Key to Sakako's mailbox. Okay, so... so she's got her own problems, Sakako. And we know where she lives because we ran past it. Oh, there's shoe.
Oi, Aibo. Rinko no ie wa socchi janai ze.
ごめん。ぼんやりしてた。
ここSakukoの家の神社だよな。
As you can see, like it's not well maintained and
急いでリンコを探そう。
そうだな。行こう。
you know, the path up isn't paved, it isn't just a dirt path up to the shrine. Honestly, there's still shrines here in Thailand which are amazing and you'd be surprised how hidden they are as well. So it's not... Look at that, that is so cool. So I think what we'll do is we'll go back to the shrine, I'll enshrine the comb, we'll find the mailbox, and after we're done with the mailbox, we'll call this an end for today, I think. I might come back a little later on, but as of right now, getting a little bit hungry. Not now, okay, so I can't whilst there's a battle going on. Enshrine the antique comb. And let's enshrine the Kazuti as well. Okay, and that leaves us 2 slots. Record our progress. And let's head back into the town and we will find out in a moment whether or not those mannequins come back or not. Still find it a little strange how the past 2 days my PC has just sort of powered through any sort of hitches, but today it's hitching. Can I remember the way? Or am I trapped? Starting to feel a little trapped. Ah, alright. So this is just like a little cul-de-sac. I remember going into there. 'cause that's the place with the teapot. And then we're back on the main road, and yes, these monsters are back. So it's pointless wasting more of my metal pipe on them, especially as I've got a little bit of a boss battle coming up. Okay. So if I remember rightly, it is sort of this way that we came. So that was the... Am I wrong? Am I totally wrong? Coming here, I think I am totally wrong in coming here. Let's go back to the shop a moment. So when we first came, the shop was here, and then I had to come from down here. So it should just be up ahead. Okay, so we've got one of these things. Right. Two of them. So this was her house, right? So if that was her house, then where is her post box? Wait a moment. Let's check my phone. Okay, nothing worth looking at. I must be misremembering. I'm sure it was around here. Sakuko's mailbox. So that's a post box. I'm not sure anymore. I'm not sure anymore. Let's just take one more walk down there. Try and find the mailbox. Right there. I can open the door. So move the truck. There's like a mailbox looks like that, but it's in front of a house, obviously. Okay, it's just a little slower Second time round. Let's just take this one out, just to make life easier. So... we came through here. Oh, again. Can't do anything when they grab me. Not the end of the world, but annoying. And this is the scene, right? She was up on that balcony. So that's her house. Ah, okay. So that would be her mailbox, most definitely. Okay. Omamori spider. Greatly decreases weapon durability consumption from performing light attacks. No abnormalities found. Shows characters of mild autism. So they're saying it's normal for children to claim they can see and hear things. Which I don't think it is really, but okay. Sakako's parents. So they're worried about Sakako's parents. I'm worried about getting back to the shrine. But that Omamori is, I think actually that Omamori, especially now that I'm not at full health, is probably, okay, they're saying I'm in combat. I have to run out of combat first. That Omamori is probably more useful to me as of right now. So we've got 3 great Omamoris already, gameplay wise. Greatly decreases weapon durability. Yeah, great. That is exactly what I need. Let's just blaze past this one. I'm in the wrong place. Okay, so this was a bit of a side quest, right? But it's worth it to get that Omamori, I think. Worth it in the long run. So what I'll do is I'm going to save it now, and then I'm going to try and come back later, and we'll do that boss, that noise that we heard. And then there's a little bit of exposition after that, and then we'll call it a day, I think. So I'm going to head off and find some food now. Okay everyone, so it's actually the next day now, but let's get carrying on with Silent Hill. Looks like my CPU's doing some work, 70 odd. Okay, could be because I've started OBS. So we're going back to where we heard that noise. I think what I'm going to try and do is, I'm going to try and avoid, okay so that's nearly broken. I'm going to try and avoid fighting anything for now, because that's just going to be a waste of resources and a waste of health. Yeah, this isn't going to last much longer, you don't have to tell me. But I want to defeat that monster, and then we'll probably call it a day for this video. And then I'm probably going to give it a bit of a rest on Sunday, so don't expect an upload until Monday, maybe even Tuesday. I might take my time, but what are we now? We're sort of 20th. From next month onwards, I'm probably going to calm it down to like 3 a week, and go from there. Can I get through there? No. Okay. So we can't get through here either. We're gonna have to turn back by the looks of it, or do we have to go through the house? Can't go through the house. Going to have to turn back and try and get through the field, is it? Let's have a little look at the map. Yeah, okay. So we're going back there then. I've actually been trying to decide on my second system. I've just hooked it up to my TV. It's nothing special, my TV in the living room. It's just like a LG nano cell. Just something we picked up. Pretty much similar to my PC, is that we didn't have anything. And we picked that up. And it's good enough that we didn't have to replace it, the same as my PC. Like, everything in my PC was good enough that I didn't have to replace it. And honestly, it's only because of this sort of RAM apocalypse, and I didn't know, you know, where things were going to be in prices and stuff in 12 months' time when I needed it to edit my... But as I was saying, I didn't know, you know, what would even be available, because I'm in Thailand. Once stock is gone, it could be gone full stop, right? Okay, so let's use that U-can. So I ended up upgrading my PC and then building a second one with the parts left over. Not being happy with it, I'm basically building a second PC, and that's how PC building goes, right? So now I've got two insane systems, and because the systems are so great, everything else started lagging behind, and suddenly, you know, you just get into that upgrade cycle. You get caught in it. But yeah, anyway, I've been using my other PC on the TV to see if I would enjoy it as a Steam box, and I think that I would prefer a monitor. Even to the 42-inch, I think that I would prefer like a 34-inch ultra wide over a 42-inch. There's just a specific experience, tailored experience with using a monitor. And you do lose size, but really when you're this close to it, so it's just one of those things where once you get used to it. Okay, so we've got the spider lilies and we've got a bunch of gore. And I know I've stopped talking about Silent Hill for now, but like I just feel really weird about having like a system that's about, I'd say, north of $2,000 just sat there, and I don't want to sell it because I don't know if I'd ever be able to build it again. Like, to build it now is probably going to be 2,600, maybe closer to 3,000, if I could even find the parts in Thailand. And this is where the boss is, so we don't want the red capsules, but we do want this steel pipe, which I'll throw this steel pipe away, and we'll have, and this is the almost broken one, but I think I would rather use the toolkit with the scythe, even though there is a toolkit here. So does it barge out of there? Let me just keep looking around for a second. That's the key. It's just such a smooth experience. PC and monitor. And this fat thing, this is a bit generic, I think. A generic blob monster. I think that plenty monsters tend to be designed like this. So So I can only get like 3 hits in. And then we've got this to hide behind. Like I said, that little cube is a gameplay mechanic that's like as old as time. And I could use my focus. Oh, he had me there. Okay, he had me there. Let's use a Yokan. Hopefully I can build up. Yeah. Nice. So there's seemingly no Ramune. What does the Ramune do? Can you remember? I can't even remember what the chocolate is for. Max sanity. And then, if I remember rightly, so that we don't use sanity. Yeah. Okay, that was a lot easier than I remember. Is there a reason for that? Do I need to do this? And then he comes back if I remember. Okay. So it looks like he's back again. Okay. Okay, so I'm starting to use this again. So that means that the chocolate has run out. Okay. Oh. Okay. Right, not doing too great here. Not doing too great here. Hey gosh, she's the stamina. Alrighty, okay, so... Oh, okay, so that doesn't protect me at all. I don't know if I can defeat this or if it just turns black like this all the time. I'm honestly not fully sure. Shall we try and go in here whilst it's down to see if it is just a mechanic or what? Looks like that thing's awake again, you can tell from the music.
Hinako! Kura no mono da!
Still hurt. Okay. So is there anything here that I need to be aware of? Three happened to be nowhere near when we actually needed him. There's quite a bit of weird artifacting here. This game does look great though. And then we're back to normal now. So I don't know what was happening yesterday. Yesterday I was getting hitches. Today it just clocks up. But this does look good. It looks like Silent Hill, and I know how strange that may sound, because it is Silent Hill, right? But it feels like a Silent Hill game. Here's the gore again. So, I'm just trying to see if there's any enemies or anything like that around before we carry on. And then this leads us back up to where we were trying to get past. And this is where we see the difference in survival horror to... Okay, so that's just an offering. Oh, but it fully restores everything. Okay. But I'm looking okay. What does what? Items. Divine water. Max sanity. So we'll have a look. But I do have divine waters if I need to bring my sanity back up. And then again, you can see just the slight light coming off of the shrine. I just love the feel of the world. This is very rural Japan, even to this day, because a lot of it still remains. You know, they rebuilt after the war. And a little bit like when I was talking about my stuff, it was good enough that they didn't have to place. Enshrine. What can we enshrine? So I got first aid kits. I need to map the first aid kit, I think, to somewhere. Map it to there for now. Inari sushi. So I don't have. I'm going to have to give something up, right? First aid kits, 2 of them. They're taking up two spaces. So I think I'm going to have to give the higashi, the inari sushi. Should I just go for it? But I know that I'll be picking up that. I know I won't be picking up Inari sushi often. I don't really want to give up. I'm gonna have to give up the Inari sushi. And I'll be picking up Divine Waters again, most likely. But let's not give that up just yet. Because they're not Ramune. Greatly restores current max sanity. Okay, I'll use that now. Oh no, my max sanity's there. So, Enshrine Ramune. And now we've got 2 slots. And we know we want to use the first aid kit or bandage next, really. First aid, really, I would say. So before we go and see Shu, let's have a look around here. So we're getting close now. But like always, worth looking around. Okay, bandage. So we don't want to use the bandage next then. First aid it is, I think. What is that? Emma. Great. And a higashi. We haven't used the higashis really, so they might be worth giving up if it comes to that. And I do want to upgrade something with the Emma right now. Like I said, we where is it to? Pray. Okay. So health I don't think is going to help us with this run. Stamina we've already done, and we don't have enough for Omamori, unfortunately. So I do want to save it, I think, in Shrine. Don't quite have enough. Not quite enough. Even if I enshrine all that to get that. But quite honestly, I may give it up. So I don't want to draw an Omamori. Because we've got good Omamoris already, we just want more slots. And I don't want to do health just yet. I think we'll do the Omamori, a stamina, then we'll start on health.
Thisで遊んだのいつの頃だっけな。
懐かしいね、ここ。幼い頃、この辺りで迷ってワンワン泣いた記憶がある。
お前が泣くとこが想像できないぜ。
もうずいぶん長いこと泣いた記憶がない。
Like I said, it's very strange because she talks about very mellow things during a time that is hardly mellow.
春にはメダカやオタマジャクシ捕まえたっけ。水が気持ちよかったな。
But see, he didn't even throw water. So that makes you think, is this all in her mind?
田んぼで遊んで泥だらけになって怒られたこともあったっけ。
こんな状況なのに懐かしい思い出ばかり思い出す。
今ではどれも懐かしいな。辛くなったら。
But again, we're getting these sort of manga-esque compositions now.
絶対に相談に乗ってやるからな。
ありがとう、相棒。
よし、行こうぜ。霧が深いな。リンコのやつ無事だといいんだが。
And suddenly Hinako is on her own.
相棒？
And now we're in this field, and I do remember this, so it's not new to me, but I do like this. This is the part that was shown quite a bit pre-release. Okay, so we need to find out which one is not the scary scarecrow. I'll put on a polite smile for now, so we need to look at their faces. The one with the smile. So that one's got a smile. Let's just keep looking just in case. So does that one. I wouldn't call that a smile. That one's smiling. This one isn't. That one isn't. That one isn't. It's okay, it's that one, isn't it? This one's the smiling one. Okay, so there's the thing, right? Okay, so I was totally wrong then. Okay, that's really hurting me. At least we get to use our first aid kit. I'll put on a polite smile for now. So it could be this one then. Okay, yeah. It's okay, you don't have to be afraid anymore. And that points us forward. These are all in school uniforms. Contorted. But somehow there's one helping her. So does that have meaning that there's just one that is helping her? And as I said, the PC's doing its job now. Whereas yesterday it was like hitching, so I don't understand what's going on in the background there. This does look great though. Reminds me of The Darkness. If you've ever played The Darkness on PS3, early PS3, there's like a level that's kind of similar to World War II, and there's like a barren area, and it's very, very similar to this. And right at the end there's like a jump scare with some weird crow creature on a cross, if I remember rightly. Okay, so before I look, let's go and read this, and it should give me a hint. How can you imagine how I feel, what it's like to have been deceived by you for so long? What's that noise? Okay, so that one is... Okay, that's creepy. Is it following me? Yeah, definitely, isn't it? So that's unnerving. Okay, so who's the one who's been deceived by me? So who's the one? This guy? Deceived. How do we know? Maybe it's the one with the a knife in her back. That's more like betrayed. It's the only one that's sort of different. There it is. Your armpit. Yeah. That's what I said to you when I saw you so scared. So this is Rinko, right? This puzzle is Rinko. Rinko is jealous of her relationship with Shu because she's not interested in Shu, seemingly. But Rinko is. It is Rinko, right? So yeah. That's what this is. That's what this puzzle is. And we just follow her. Yeah. Can you even imagine how I feel? He never once looked at me the way he looked at you. Not once. So yeah. This is Rinko. So is she helping us by pointing? Or is she not helping us by pointing? Never once looked at you. So he's looking at her. He's looking at her. He's looking at her. He's looking at her. Oh no. That's a boy looking at a girl. That's also a boy looking at a girl. That's a boy looking at a girl. So that's the one with no boy looking at her. I wonder why I called you over. Strange. But let's just follow the leader and see where this goes. Yeah, it's definitely got that no man's land feel to it. What's this? A bandage. Great. And we've got something here. Right there. So we're looking at... Okay, so there's the... Can you imagine? I feel you've always been such an eyesore. Okay, so... You've always been such an eyesore. So what does that mean? Is it this one? The one in the center? Nope. So what does it mean? You've always been such an eyesore. That one's looking at that one, that one's looking at that one. And that's the boy. This one? Process of elimination at this point. Literally process of elimination at this point. I don't even know what... I could have just lied to you, told you any which way. So now we're getting to the meat of it. Okay. So let's keep going. Here are a few others. That's a weird one. Okay, so... Do we keep going forward? Yeah, I think so. Get that Yokan as well. Okay, perfect. So we're here now. Can you even imagine how I feel? You hurt me and even hurt him too. Do you know how it feels to force a smile when I'm staring at that disgusting face of yours? So... Someone's smiling, looking at a disgusting face. Who's creeping on me? It's you, isn't it? You're creeping on me. Okay. Now let's try and do this puzzle. Looking at that creepy face of yours. Not that one. Force a smile whilst looking at that creepy face. It's gotta be this one, right? No. God knows which one it is then. So So they're not even looking at each other. No one's looking at anyone else.
まずいな。武器が壊れそうだ。
Yeah, let's fix it, is it? The size of worth. Okay, I wasn't even looking at smiles. Smile, smile, smile. Smile. No, no, no. That's a boy, though. Would it be a boy? Perhaps it is. Perhaps that's... No, it's not. I didn't think it would be a boy because it's Rinko. But you just never know. And I just don't see any others. Perhaps this one. Nope. I'm just again process of elimination now. It's not even it's not even clear. Okay. So none are doing like a smile or nothing. Nope. Yeah, again, nope. So this one then has to be, right? Hello, boy. Okay, so yeah. Kids fallen to the death in the waterway. So what does that mean? Did someone die in the waterway? Did someone drown themselves? Creepy, yeah, but not scary.
Oi! Hinako!
あれさっき
Okay, so there's shoe. Ah, so that's sort of like a callback to when she got lost. And now that's her house. But let's, like we always do, let's have a look. Okay, so I can't go. And this is her house here.
Hinako!
リンコは
Yeah, Ringo, that's it.
リンコ！俺だ！シュウだ！いるなら返事してくれ！
来てくれたんだ。あ、ひなこも無事でよかった。
怪我はないか？家族？
私は大丈夫。でも誰もいないの。
Everyone's disappeared, even my grandmother.
こんなの絶対に変。誰もいないし、気味の悪い怪物がうろつき回ってるし、何が何だかわからないよ。
So she's all over Shu. But at the same time, he doesn't say anything, right? He doesn't say, please don't. Okay. The doll. Notice the doll.
これ以上
Reminds me of the Beatles, this. A little bit.
街を出た方がいい。
街を出るって、お父さんやお母さんは、みんなは助けを呼ぶためにも、今は行動を急いだ方がいいかもしれない。
みんなを見捨てるわけじゃない。助ける。
Okay, so they're trying to get out of the
脱出
village
する必要があるんだ。
to get help,
街を出るって言ってもあれじゃ無理だよ。
which is definitely a parallel to
どういう
how
そっちの窓から鉄橋が見えるよ。
how they must feel in real life even without the monsters, right? You know, they want out of this dead-end
嘘
town.
だろ。
And the bridge is up.
どうしよう。
So again, it's
東
just
の鉄橋がダメなら
just a metaphor for the fact there's no way
西
out.
の県道を目指そう。
You know, it's a closed circle.
あの山越えられるの？
You know, of all the places that I can really makes me relate to this is I grew up in Wales in the Welsh valleys, and that's the same. It's a dead end. No one can get out because the things you need to break the cycle just aren't available there, and that's why, you know, that part of the UK is rife with poverty. Not only is it rife with poverty, but when things happen like, you know, people getting pushed out of the cities, right? They then start buying homes, you know, rather than in the city an hour away. And they'll buy these houses. But then where do the people who used to live in these little villages go? But as you can see, Rinko is more focused on Shu, right? And we get this love triangle. So if you notice, there's no burning, like a cellulose film burning, like on the two other times. She gets directly which, what does that mean? Does that mean that, like, they're closer together now? There's not a separation? Is it just me reading too much into things? Was it just an early game transition to help you feel that you are transitioning between one place and the next? Or is there more to this? And again, you know, I don't use this word lightly, but it's iconic. It is, you know, the gold, the gilt, the red. It's iconic. There's such a feeling you get that's tied to the subconsciousness. Even if you're not familiar with Japan or the Japanese or with Shinto or Buddhism, this looks supernatural. And the same with the lanterns. Look at them, just little specks. You can see the reflections in the water more than the actual lanterns. And they look fantastic. Lumen and nanite are just incredible tools. And they're free. Like, they're not locked behind some paywall. You know, even Photoshop is locked behind a paywall. Massive vase. Let's just have a little look around. So we can sort of see where we're trying to head. You know, it's quite clear all the time where you need to go. And they don't need yellow paint to do it. I've said it before, I'll say it again. They don't need yellow paint to do it. It's just obvious. That's the way we need to go. And again, you know, this could even be, if it was a wider shot perhaps. I don't know how it would work actually, but you know, again, it could definitely at least be concept art. I think that's the right conclusion that I made in the second part, where it's not so much that everywhere you look looks perfect, but there is one specific way you look that is perfect, and it's obviously so. You know, there's obviously a frame here. Every single time there's an obvious next frame, which is why it makes me think it would be such a good fixed camera game. Like that. There's every single shot, there's an obvious next frame, and it's not obnoxiously obvious. It's fantastic level design. And look, we've got darkness there, and we've got light there. So naturally a player would go towards the light. Naturally. I'm going to go and have a look what's over here, which is seemingly not a lot. Look how dark it is compared to the other direction. So this is definitely not the place you're supposed to be. And then we get Inari. Get the fox. And what's in here? Another Emma. Perfect. So we've now got enough Emmas to do what we want, which is one more. We want one more stamina and one Omamori. Inari Sama's emblem. Okay. So if I remember rightly, I didn't actually do that puzzle last time. Should we keep going? I mean, I feel as if it would take us to the same place anyway. But clearly they're pushing you towards the path with the light. So we're looking here. And again, even this reminds me of Fruits Basket so much. Okay. So what's that sound? Looks like something's outside now. We've got the fox looking at the moon. Beautiful ink work. And something here. Just a divine water. And I'm now full. So I do not need another divine water. I do want to see what I can get rid of if I need to get rid of something. The Ramune. And the chocolate. But really I want to try and find a shrine. And we'll tackle this supernatural one with fresh eyes Monday. I'll spend Sunday being a human being, living a normal life. Better get going. So we know there's something there that we can come back to, and then this takes us to where we were before. Can't open that. I'm just having a look. I don't mean to be rushing, but like I said, I kind of want to get a move on. I don't think that I'm probably going to do this place justice. I'd rather come at it with fresh eyes. Need to find a key. So as long as we know there's like a lot here that needs re-exploring, we can just go save and then come back. And you know, if you find these kind of games scary, which some people do, I don't. I mean, there can be the odd jump scare where it startles you, and it can feel like there can be tension, but I don't necessarily feel scared by these kind of games. But if you are a person who does feel scared by these kind of games, then I think the easiest way to get around that, there's our shrine. Yeah. The easiest way to get around that is think of it as a game. You don't have to be rushed or pushed to do anything. Just go at your own pace. Unless, you know, there's an enemy breathing down your neck. But you know what I'm saying, right? Got the old musty library vibes. Can't use any of this. Storage room key. Perfect. So rather than let's enshrine first. Ramune can go. Dried carcass can go. You know what? Divine water, chocolate, and the Higashi can go. Okay. And we will pray. And we can get one Omamori, and we're a little bit of a way to the stamina. Okay. And then I will equip my Omamori. So we've got that one there, the spider, which greatly decreases weapon durability consumption from light attacks. Perfect. Then this one, which is I could do greatly decreases damage taken while dodging, but I think dodges kind of are or aren't. So maybe I think the max health one is the better version, because that gives us quite a boost to our health. And we'll save it here. And then let me know what you think about my second setup, or even let me know what you would do with a second PC. Would you want it as a second? Like, my idea is, if I add it as a second PC, I've got a 4K PC, I got a 1440 PC, and the 1440 PC I would offload the gaming, the recording, the streaming to, and then, you know, the sort of Unreal, Photoshop, all that stuff would go on this side. Unless I'm benchmarking, then I could benchmark on this machine at 4K if I want to do 4K captures or whatever, that sort of thing. But would you use it as a Steam box? Do you think that having like a Steam box-esque, console-esque experience on a large screen TV would be a better point of reference? Pardon me. And then maybe in the future building like a Team Red system, like a 970 XT, 9070 XT, XTX, wherever it's called, and like a 9850 X3D system, because that would be another option, right? And having like a Team Red system and a Team Green system. So let me know what you think. This is Banshee Interactive. I'm David Roberts, and remember, this is not a simulation.